start off with, I know we played a game tonight, which is great, but I'm excited too about our future. We signed, 5 really good basketball players that I think it, can certainly help us in the future. It helps us continue to develop our culture. When you look at the guys that we signed, all 5 of those guys fill a need for us. I'm excited about this bunch. When I took the job, I wanted to get some homegrown guys that could be able to certainly help us win a championship one day. 4 of those 5 guys are from the state of North Carolina, and that was a priority for our staff and me. Give our staff a lot of credit. I thought my assistant coaches did a tremendous job recruiting those guys. It's an exciting class. I'm ecstatic about those guys, and when you look at the guys that we have in the program, taking into consideration the fact that Thomas Allen is sitting out, who's going to be a really good player from Nebraska, and then Sebron, who is an academic redshirt, who has a chance to really be good, and the guys that's returning, I think we're heading in the right direction. I know we're heading in the right direction. So excited about that. Game, I thought we played good in stretches. My team's a little tired. We had 3 games this week, so we didn't have our traditional day off. We had to take 2 off the previous week. And so tomorrow, I told everybody in the locker room to, stay away from basketball a little bit. They thought I was saying stay away from the academics, and I said, no, we're not doing that. So everybody has instructions for those guys who have to get in the gym, which is guys like C.J. Bryce, Devin Daniels, and Braxton Beverly. I told them if you come in the gym, spend about 30 minutes, get some shots up, then get some rest. We needed some rest. That being said, I thought we did some great things. We got going in the second half. We had a great spurt where we made some shots. I thought we shot the ball well in the second half behind the 3-point line. We settled a little bit in the first half where I thought we should have drove it and could have got some easy baskets. But that being said, I'm happy with our win, and I like where we're at, and we're moving in the right direction. So, questions?
When you can get production, offensive production like this out of Devin, like consistently, how different does this team look when he's playing like he played tonight?
Well, he changes our. When you look at Devin and you look at DJ, they both could certainly be starters, and they'll probably end up starting some games. I'm playing 8 guys right now, and all 8 guys can be starters. So the 3 guys that come off the bench, they've been tremendous. Our bench is scoring just as much as the guys who start the game. But Devin was really good tonight. He was aggressive. He made shots. He mixed his game up, and then you didn't get a chance to see. I thought he was very solid on the defensive end, but he's a good player, and he's starting to buy in and understand what I'm looking for. I thought he played well. It was good to see Markel Johnson score 16 points. I thought he felt a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable shooting the basketball. But our team's good. I got 8 guys that I figured that I can start at any point, and I give Pat, Devin, and DJ a lot of credit because not once have they pouted about coming off the bench. They just come in and do their job. With 8 guys that we're playing, everybody knows that they're going to play, and so nobody complains.
What did you say to Manny Bates at halftime? Because he was a much different player in the second half.
Nothing. Players know when they don't think they played well, and Manny's a freshman, and we forget. Because he's such a tremendous shot blocker on the defensive end. And so because he's been here, even my staff at times, they will say, God, he's got to do this, got to do this. And I'm saying, hey, he's a freshman. The kid hasn't played in 2 years. It's going to take some time. And he just came out to play. I didn't say one word to him. Sometimes when you're dealing with a young kid, it's better off not to say anything to him. And I didn't. I just let him play.
You knew Markel was going to be okay, but to see him have a game like this, is it kind of a relief a little bit?
Well, I don't think it's a relief. I don't worry about him because I do think he's going to be okay. And I still don't think he played great tonight. I thought he played good. But it was good to see him play better. It was good for him to see the ball to go in the hole.
Devin said that he really enjoys playing here. Do you like these games, these heritage games? And what is it about this place that just kind of seems to be different?
Well, these conversations are always going to happen. This is a great venue to play in. That being said, we also have a really great venue to play in at the PNC. This is great because it's everybody's right on top of you. It's a legendary place. I love playing here. But that being said, we've got contracts where we got to play a certain many games at PNC. I'm not giving up on the PNC because I love the PNC. PNC helps us with recruits. It's a pro arena. It's a chance to play, in front of 20,000 when we sell out. So it's a great place. So I look at it like this: is we're fortunate to be able to be one of few programs to have 2 great arenas to play in. I wish it was a little bigger. I wish it held 10,000, but it doesn't. It's a beautiful place the way it is.
Coach, I want to go back to Markel real quick. As far as you talked about him scoring and seeing some balls go in the bucket, but what about the way he distributes the ball?
Yeah, what's lost in the fact that I know we've all said Markel hasn't played well, but he's passed the ball well. Now, he's had a few more turnovers than I would like. That being said, I think he's played well when he's not scoring the ball. He's done different stuff. He's got people involved, but he's passing the ball at a high level. I can't get him to go back. I don't want him to be sophomore Markel where he thinks he's got to lead the league in assists. On this particular team, we need him to have a balance of scoring and passing the basketball.
You've been here all day.
I have.
Anybody give you some love for the recruiting class? Any fans stop you?
It's
Doesn't
hard.
stop you.
We had the fans today were the best fans that you could ever have. They were elementary school kids. They had no idea about a recruiting class. It's so funny, and I'm glad we do that. That's exciting. Those kids get to have fun. They get a break from school. They yell. It takes them a while to realize what team that they're rooting for because when the ball goes in the hole, they start rooting for everybody. And then when they get this whole NC State chant, it's pretty loud in there. I've got to work with our fans because we won't have an elementary school game that our guys will be as loud as them. But right now, the competition, they're blowing us out of the water with the atmosphere that was today. But no, I've been here all day, Joe. Kids don't know it. I'm excited, man. I'm pumped about this class, and it was one that we needed to have. It was one that I felt like that was going to be good, and we got the pieces that we really wanted. And there's not a guy that we recruited in this class that we didn't get that we really wanted. They were all guys that that we prioritized that we knew that we could have a chance to get.
What was it like seeing the way Josh Hall has changed over the last couple of years, and then how much has Cam Hayes kind of helped piece that class together?
Well, so Cam Hayes, he texted me when Josh committed and said, "Man, I did a great job." Like, what are you talking about, Cam? Yeah. But Cam is it's becoming popular for guys in state to come to NC State, and that's one of the things that I wanted to happen. We've lost some of those recruiting battles. It's always been tough because we've got some pretty good programs in this state. And a lot of times some of those guys have decided to go elsewhere instead of coming to NC State. And we won a couple of recruiting battles here where even when guys did go to the schools in the neighborhood, they would leave and go to like schools. For instance, Florida State or Mobile, Clemson or somewhere else. With this group of guys, they decided that NC State was good enough. And we only do well with people who want to come to our program. And I'm excited that all 4 of the in-state guys felt like this program was good enough for them to come here. It started with Manny Bates. Manny Bates was recruited, and he could have went to a lot of programs, but he decided to stay in state, and I'm happy for him, and that's why I want him to do so well, and the other guys that's coming to the program will do the same thing.
Is Ebenezer a little bit like Manny?
A little bit more skilled offensively at this point than Manny. He actually can step out and do a few more things than Manny, but he's a tremendous shot blocker, similar to Manny.
Coach, towards the end of the first half, when Bates was in foul trouble, you elected to go small for a little bit. That's when Alcorn State was coming on the run. Anything you regret about that?
No, not at all. When you're in, early in the years, early in the season, you want to try to see what combinations are playing well. That combination has been good for us at times this year. It's crazy because I don't think that they beat us on the backboards or they made shots inside during that time. I just thought we had too many breakdowns. We didn't do a great job, in my opinion, tonight, rotating out of the press, finding guys. And we left some guys open for some wide open shots. They were 5 for 7 from the three-point line going into the half. And a lot of them because of the press. We just didn't rotate out of them. I thought we did a good job, solid job defensively, but out of the press we gave up some easy shots. And it's different because the guys, when we're playing Jericho and we're playing Pat at that kind of 4 position, they're really not used to it, so they don't know where to rotate to.
Kevin, was this recruiting class, I don't want to overthink it, but was it at all, did they have to see you like in these first 2 years at State to kind of see how you did things and how it played out? Like, was this at all a culmination of everything, or was it just, as you said earlier, your assistants identifying these kids, making them a priority?
Yeah, I mean, we started, majority of these guys that we signed, we started from the day we got here recruiting them. And we started building a relationship with them. We started selling them on the opportunity to come to NC State and get a great education. And we talked about a lot of things, our fan base. We talked about the opportunity to play the style of play that we play. We talked about, obviously being alumni of NC State. And I just think it worked off. I mean, we worked extremely hard for these guys and give them credit. All of these guys could have chose to go somewhere else, and they decided to come to NC State.
How much did the team camp in June help in terms of evaluating guys like Shaq and Nick Farrar?
I don't know that I knew they could play, and team camp is so tough because most of the team camps you don't have. So a lot of the teams don't have their entire team. Most of the football guys are away playing, so you don't get a true understanding of how good each guy is. It certainly helped that I could spend a little time and watch them play. I don't think that made, as far as me deciding whether to take them or not. I think, the biggest jump is Josh Hall 2 or 3 years ago. I think he was in team camp. And, that kid's gotten a lot better. He's grown. He's talented. He's put on a little bit of bulk. He's gotten better. I can say that about each guy. Nick is a kid that came from nowhere, and certainly disappointed in Nick tonight a little bit because he played against Broughton, and it was KJ's first varsity game, and Nick beat him bad. So you're going to have a little extra suicides for that when he gets here. You can never beat the coach's son on his first game ever, and Nick won the game. So, but I'm excited, man. Cam Hayes is he's a talented guard. He reclassified back up to his regular class. He can play the 1 and 2. Really good basketball player. When you talk about Shaq Moore, he's probably one of the best defensive guards in the country. The last time I watched him before this weekend, he's a guy who stepped out and made 7 threes. That's not who he is. So certainly that he's able to do those type of things. But I love the bunch. I love what Ebenezer brings to our class. Not only are those guys good basketball players, but they're good people, and all of them coming in with a really good academic background. And I wanted to, if I can get 2 out of the 3, I'm lucky, but with the majority of those guys, I got 3 out of the 3 with those guys, so I'm pumped about that.
Knowing that Shaq can play off the ball as well, I mean, how much does that help you knowing that you can have a backcourt with Cam and Shaq at the same time?
Yeah, I wouldn't have never taken Shaq if he was just locked into being a point guard. He was a combo guard, and it's so funny, the relationships has grown because each guy with Cam and Shaq played together in AAU, and I asked him after we got the commitment from Cam. I said, do you mind playing with Shaq? And they were all for it. It was weird how this relationship has developed with those guys because we would go back and call them, say, how do you feel about playing with so-and-so? How do you feel about, and all of those guys like, man, I'm excited about it. So hopefully we got something special in this group. I would love for those guys to develop a relationship before they get here because I think if they do, they'll come in as a strong unit and get better in a lot of areas.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.